Hi guys, I've got one of those project requests here. Science project. Yeah, a sheet of photocopy paper to make the body tube. Well, I've got an old piece of paper there. In fact, I've already wrapped one piece up that way round, the short way. I might try wrapping it the long way to give me a slightly longer body. Just wrapped it round a barbecue skewer to give me a former. Next, 2 sheets of cardstock. Right, that's for the wheels, the motor mount and the propeller. Now, I haven't got any cardstock as such. I have got some packaging here that I save off of things that I bought. So I think we can class that as cardstock. It might be a little bit thicker, I don't know, because you measure cardstock in grams, I think, or grams per square metre, and I'm not going to go measuring it. Anyway, that's very thin card, which is what I think we call cardstock. So I haven't got sort of 2 sheets of it, but I've got 3 bits of it. We'll try and, well, that's what we'll use. A straw. I'll have a look for a straw in a minute. For the axle sleeves, 4 large paper clips. Right, now I definitely don't have any large paper clips, but I do have this thin garden wire, which is about 1 millimetre diameter. So that's going to be my paper clips. I'll have to judge. I mean, a large paper clip, what's that, about that long? So if it's 4 times that length, that's probably about 8 inches we'll get from a large paper clip. So that's what we'll work on, 4 lengths of 8 inches. 1 bead for the propeller spacer. I do have some beads. 1 Bic pen cap or equivalent for the propeller mount. Right, well, these are some old pens. It's a new lid. Now, I don't think any of them are any good at all. They're a very funny shape. But I think the point with the Bic pens is they do have a tiny hole in the end of them, but then they're more of a curved shape, aren't they? I might be able to cut the top off of that so at least it's flat instead of angled like that. So that might do the job. But a big, oh, what's that one? Well, that's not a pen top at all. That's off something completely different. But that's, I think that's what a big pen top looks like. It's that sort of shape. That one doesn't have a hole in the end. Okay, well that's the sort of thing. Or I could use, I could use those bits. Those are at the bottom of the pen. Well, all we really want is a small piece of plastic as the hub or holder of the propeller. That might work, just that bit. So we're having to make do as we go along. Phone timed out. What else was there? Come on. 1 rubber band. Okay, now no description of what size the rubber band is, so that could be anything. And tape, small pieces as required. It's due next Tuesday. Well, today's Sunday. I only got the message yesterday on Saturday, It's an Air Dragster and it has to roll 3 meters propeller-engined. Right, okay. Well, I've also got to eat my breakfast, so I think what I'll do is let's see if we can roll one of these up this way. I'm not sure. That way might work, but it's a bit shorter than I really want. But if we roll it this way, it will be thinner. It's got a bit of something on the end of it. That's one I've used on one of my rubber band powered cars. That's just for the former, we're not using that. Just so I've got something to roll around. And obviously sticky tape, not glue, because given the choice I'd be gluing this, because gluing adds quite a bit of strength to something like this if you ran some glue all along the edge. And it does say small bits of tape. Supposed to make it easier using a dispenser like that. Right, so we'll use that as the body. I'll go and find a drinking straw. Right, got a plastic drinking straw. It's one of those ones with the stretchy bit, but we don't want that. So we'll cut that off. So what have we got left? That's about 16 centimetres left. So around about 8 centimetres. That'll be our front and back axle tube, or whatever it called it. Front one we can put on the front, just tape it in place. The back one, I want to bring it forwards a bit so the propeller isn't going to hit the wheels. Propeller, right. Okay, that'll be the first challenge for our bit of wire. So if we reckon our paper clip was going to be about 2 inches long, or 5 centimetres, then that means I can probably use as much as 20 centimeters. That seems quite a lot actually for a straightened out paper clip. But yeah, because they go up, round, round again, back up. Ah, it's only 3, isn't it? Let's just draw that out. Paper clip goes up and round, round. It does come back again, doesn't it? Right, there's a small paper clip. Yeah, I've been a bit generous with the way it works. It's about, if we hold it that way up, it goes up and round, down, round, like that. So if the long side, I'm going to say for a big one, is going to be 5 centimeters. Then we've got 5, and we've got the curves on the end. We've probably got 3 times 5, so 15 would be reasonable. Because we'll have the same problem you'd have with an ordinary paper clip, keeping it straight when you've done it. But yeah, we'll call that 15. So that's our straightened out paper clip. So for an axle, yeah, I'm reckoning I'll be able to bend that straight like that. And then bend that again like that. And then when we cut out our wheel, we'll glue that, or glue it, tape it on the wheel where it sticks through the wheel. And that should help to hold it up straight. And I can do something similar with the propeller. I should have measured that, shouldn't I? So if that was 15, we've used about 3. You'll see what I'm going to do with them later, but that's the axles and that's to support the wheels. We'll also be able to angle it a bit to try and straighten the wheels up. So that's our wheel and axle for one end. And another 15. Right, we'll have a look at what I have in mind for the propeller. Luckily we're not trying to make this fly, so we're not too worried about the weight. So 15, middle of 15 is 7.5. Right, so bend that up at right angles. That's our middle point. Bend that at right angles. And bend that at right angles. Okay. That's going to be our hook for the rubber band to go through. And then if I hold that tight, that's going to need quite a big bead to go through that. Isn't quite what I had in mind. Might have to rethink this. I haven't got much to work with. I'm going to saw the end off that so it's straight instead of bent like that. Right. This is the reverse of what I'm actually going to do. I'm just testing it for fit. This is completely unplanned. I'm just trying this live as you see me doing it. So my idea is that's going to go up through there, through the bead. And we'll attach our card propeller blades onto this. And somehow we've got to attach that onto there. We have to take that on, aren't we? Or we could use bits of card to bring it up a little bit. That might work. We'll see what card we got left when we've drawn out a couple of wheels. Right, I'll have a cup of tea now because that's getting cold and I haven't drunk it yet. Just thinking about this, if you haven't got a nice big bead like I've got there, and you've only got a little one like that, we could do this the reverse way. So if our hook on the end is going to be some diamond shape, like that, but your bead's only that thick, so you can only put that through there. Oh, that's a thought. I'll make that hole a little bit bigger so we can use that. Right, just heated the end and pushed it through so it melted its way through. So we've got that. So if we then put that through there and the bead on there, that's an alternative way of getting it through. And then we're going to have to bend this. Make sure we have a bit of space. At right angle like that. And if we do something like, I'm just trying to judge this, I could measure it to be sure, but I'm just guessing at the moment. Something like that. Something like that. Something like that, so we've got a sort of roughly an X shape without a leg there. You might be able to see we can stick a propeller on there, and that'll work too. So we've got two options there at the moment, because my idea with this one was to bend it off at the right angle. So we've got two options. Right, so we've got to figure out a way of mounting that up here somewhere. Or that. And we need some wheels, and I think I ought to cut out the wheels before we run out of card. So how big are we going to make the wheels? If we had a sheet of A4 cardstock, then I'd know exactly what size to do them. We'll just make a guess. If I make it 5 centimeters diameter, 50 millimeters or 2 inches, and there'll be about 4-inch size wheels. Obviously you could use a compass to do this. I just happen to have these dividers that I use because I've got them. So that's one wheel. I've used this card as a cutting board from the looks of it. Given the choice, I'd be using CDs for wheels, because I like CDs for wheels. Sun's coming out. Okay, so let's cut them out roughly. I want to save some card here for the propeller and for the mount for the propeller hub assembly, or whatever you want to call it. Just thinking about where I'm going to put the video, because I've got 4 channels at the moment. Got my main Grandad is an old man, but rubber band powered things like this will be, I have a separate channel now called Putarubberbandonit, and that is where I put these sorts of videos. But not many people watch that channel, so what I'll do is I'll put the main build video on that channel, and I'll put a little teaser or something on the main channel so people know that I've done it. So it sort of works as an advert on the main channel. It says go and have a look on Putarubberbandonit. Because this is going to be quite a long video when I put it all together, isn't it? Although I don't suppose you need to watch me cut all 4 wheels out. If you're using thinner card stock, then you might have to cut out some smaller circles to stiffen up the middle of these wheels to give them a bit more strength. So I don't have anything that's specifically called card stock, so this is just some scrap card, so say from some packaging. Right, I did the other one of them, so we've got 2 of these now. So that's got to go through the hole in the middle, right the way through. And we'll put a bit of tape on the outside. So there we go. Same on this one. Make sure you rub it in well to make it grip properly. So here we are, a couple of wheels. Do the others the same in a minute. So, propeller. I reckon about an inch, which is about 2.5 centimeters, which happens to be, I think, about the width of this ruler. And because we're using this piece of card, that looks like that's just over 15 millimeters long. In fact, it's 15.5. So that's 7.5 and 2 halves. 75, 76, 77.5, isn't it, for the middle point? A bit thicker than I thought it was. So that's going to be our propeller. That's actually, now that I've used the ruler as the edge, that's just over 2.5. So that should be the middle. So if we're using this one, put that on there and glue it in place. Or you could poke a little hole in there if you're using the other version. You could actually wiggle it all the way through. You'd have to wiggle around a little bit. So that's through on that side, and then you could tape it on that side. I quite like this design. I might do two, but I like that. Oh, but that's not the proper big pen top, is it? Let's give that one a little curve as well. So it looks the same. So, depending on which way we're going to wind it up, it depends on which way it's going to spin. Well, I'll just demonstrate. If we twist it that gives us our pitch. Yeah, I quite like that design. And if it's going that way, then if we wind it up that way and it's going that way, that's actually going to be going the wrong direction, because that's going to be trying to pull it that way. So we'll have to wind it up that way, and it'll unwind that way and go forwards. You'll soon find out when you do it, because if you wind it up and it goes backwards, you know you've wound it up the wrong direction. Or you just twist these the opposite way. So that's our propeller assembly. Yeah, we'll go with that one. That one's alright, and we could do virtually the same with it. We could just stick that on like that and do the same thing. But I'm going to go with that one now because I like the look of that, even though it's the bottom end of the pen rather than the top end. That's just a matter of, it's a plastic tube to hold the thing in place. Okay, back to here. So we want to mount that up there somewhere, so it doesn't, so the propeller doesn't strike the body. And also, the wheels have got to be far enough forward so the propeller doesn't hit the wheels either. Or you could have it mounted right up high. And also the wheels mustn't hit the ground when they're spinning around. So again, it's got to be up a reasonable height. Yeah, they're going to have to be up about there somewhere, isn't it? That looks like about 6 or 7 centimeters up. So, card again. And that's about 15 centimeters. So this depends very much on how much you've got left from your 2 pieces of cardstock as to how big you can make this. You might not have quite as much left as I've got. So I'm making this 5 centimeters wide. just by eye a bit here. Let's go up like that. Just to be on the safe side, we'll cut a little bit off the back. Right, with that, I want to wrap around there, but I don't want to crush it. So I'll wrap it around a pencil first. So that's our tail, and then that, put some tape around that to hold it on there. Right, this sticky tape's a little bit wide. Need to stiffen that up a bit. That's the general idea. It's not going to have a lot of strength, this. But we might be alright. Right, wheels. I didn't put the other one on there. This will be a problem, trying to get this to mount on neatly. something like that. So that can go on there, and then that can go on there. Make sure the wheels are going to clear. Okay, so a bit generous there, we can make them a bit smaller. Right, getting these straight is going to be your biggest challenge. I doubt very much whether I'm going to get them straight. Yeah, looks okay. So I didn't need those to be quite so big. Leave that a little bit ropey for now. We can tidy it up later when we've checked whether it actually works. But certainly that bit looks okay. Right, we need a clip at the front to hook the rubber band onto. I'm going to use this small one that I've got left, because I reckon we can just slide that in there with a bit of manipulation. Rubber bands. Okay, it says one rubber band, but it doesn't say how big. So I've got several rubber bands here of different sizes. That's one. So, oh, we need to put it on here. And using this one's easier because we've got the open loop. If we'd used my first design, you'd have to actually tie it on there. But this may be a little bit tight. Oh, I don't know. Okay, it's on. So we want it to go forwards. Forwards is that direction. So we have to wind it up this way. I don't think that rubber band's going to be strong enough. You might want to put a bit of lubrication up here between the plastic and the bead to make it spin easier. So this really depends on what sort of rubber band you've got as to whether this is going to work. It might work. I think that rubber band might be a little bit lightweight. When I say lubrication, maybe a bit of Vaseline, silicone spray, something like that, because that's going to be a little bit tight on there. Still, we've only got to do 3 meters. Yeah, I'm going to have to lubricate that a little bit. Just a little bit of Vaseline. Vaseline lip therapy. Helps heal dry lips. And that has made quite a bit of difference. So I better go and try it. Right, got my tape measure out. It's 3 meters from my ruler, so I'll go and stand at the other end with the propeller car and point it this way, and if it hits the line, we've done 3 meters. Well, that certainly worked. That did it easily. Go again. Right. Well, we started a bit far forwards from the conservatory door, so we've lost a meter there. But we've done what would have been normally 8 meters minus meter, 7 meters, but we've got another meter here. Yeah, we've done a good 8 meters there and then hit the door anyway. So I'm going to claim that as a success. The target was to do 3 meters. So, yeah. Success. So, piece of A4 paper, some cardstock, some paper clips, although I haven't got any, sticky tape, drinking straw, and a bit of plastic from a pen, oh, and a bead. Yeah, job done. Success.